has happened because I mean, numbers don't lie. So if you understand what has happened in the past, if you understand numbers, then it kind of, position us to understand certain things and to also make sure that we don't fall victim for certain things. So, of course, computer network, due to the fact that there is connectivity, internet here and there, it's prone to being hacked, right? It's prone to, viruses being installed, whether your phone, whether your laptop, whether your PC, as you may call it, and this can lead to source of loss of personal and sensitive information, right? Because of everything that has an advantage, like we all know, has a disadvantage, right? We have phones, we have internet, we can connect here and there, but then some of the things it comes with is that it is prone to being hacked and it can lead to a lot of sensitive information. The question you now want to ask yourself, why is this training important? Why do I need it? It is important because even there is statistics that over 310,000 people has been affected by these online viruses. I mean, they have been hacked, their personal information and sensitive information has been compromised. I mean, including 10 banks in America. So if this can affect 10 banks in America who have sophisticated technology and yet they still fall victim to hackers, to some of these online viruses, then who are you? Who am I? So that is one of the reasons why this session is very, 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 very important and why you have to pay rapt attention. Not only that, between 2013 and 2015, Facebook and Google also lost about $100 million to phishers. I mean, those are hackers. That's your Facebook and Google. Our Facebook and Google also lost about $100 million to these guys. So this shows the one of the reason why we have to take this session very seriously. And also, the population of the world is about, 8 billion people. And we have statistics that over 4.5 billion people, over 4.5 billion, use the internet, right? That tells us that more than half of the population of the world use internet. And that also brings us to the understanding or to the awareness that, look, online viruses are real and the chances that our data can be vulnerable is also real. So what you want to achieve with this session as a trainer is that you want them to understand the numbers so that they will see the reason why they need to pay rapt attention to the session and why they need to understand that, look, if this can happen and we have these statistics, then it shows that it can happen to myself, it can happen to anyone. Then so that you will not make the session too very casual because people attention span, especially students, is very, very limited. So what you want to do is just to make sure that you kind of engage them. So that's why we have this habit game where you tell them if they've never done it before, they score themselves 0. If they've tried it once, they score themselves 1. And if they tried it more than once, they should score themselves 2. So let's go into it. You ask them, how many of you log on to the internet every day or I use the internet more often on a daily basis? You would ask them if you have never done it, 0. If you have done it once, 1. If you do it more often, you score yourself 2. However, if you feel like you are in a position where or the session does not allow you to score them maybe because of the numbers of participants, you may want to ask them to just raise their hand if they've done any of these things. Don't forget what you are trying to achieve with this is to make sure that you kind of engage them. So you ask them, oh, raise your hand if you know you connect to your friends through social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. They will raise their hand. Some of them saying, hi, 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 me, I do it. You understand? Just to engage them. You ask them, you share your information on all social media handle. Raise your hand if you know you do that. You conduct a Google search, you ask them to raise their hand. They will also tell you they do that, right? You share a broadcast message without verifying the authenticity of the information. You ask them, for instance, you see something on WhatsApp where, for example, somebody is saying that, look, there is a particular government agency that is maybe giving all students, maybe the student loan that is currently being passed into law, and there is an amount being given by federal government 30,000 naira to all students. And how many of them usually share all those things without even checking whether it's true or not? You see them raising their hand. You ask them how many of them have dragged someone or have been dragged online before. They also let you know. They've commented word like you explain. No evidence. Don't forget what you're trying to do is just to kind of relate with them, make it engaging. You've commented word like comrade, DJYK, all those kind of things in the mud, serve breakfast, or you are in the midst of your friends, they are talking and you're like, mule, those kind of thing, or fear women, or, any other popular slang on social media, they will also let you know that, look, I have done that before. You ask how many of you visit website to source for information, they will tell you even that when you even give them assignments, and they go online to, source for information or check, answers to those questions. You can ask them if they have bank accounts, how many of them share their PIN or password with someone, they will tell you. I mean, this is very rampant. You give somebody your ATM card and say, my PIN is so, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 000. Go and help me withdraw, They will tell you they've done that. How many of them, you ask them, how many of you have received a call or text message from a fraudster before? In fact, most of them will tell you yes. In fact, a lot of us on this call too might have at one point or the other, witness this when somebody call you, mention your name, mention everything about you, and at the end you realize you don't even know the person, right? So, and you also ask how many of you connect to available Wi-Fi, especially when it is free. They will also let you know that look, oh, I connect to. Even some of us on this call too, we connect to Wi-Fi when it is free. If you are following, please go into the chat box and type I am following, just to be sure that we are all here. Go to the chat box and say, I am following if you're following. Yes, I mean, Josephine, I'm following. We only have Josephine on this call. Jegede Vin, if I'm following. Oyewade, I'm following. Ajao Taiwo is following. Yes, we only have 5 people. Okay, Alalade is following. Owolabi Ronke is following. Modiu Madebisi is following. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Others, please ensure you are following and type in the chat box. That's what tells me that you are on this call and you did not just join the call and maybe cooking noodles in the kitchen, or doing some other thing. So put in the chat box you are following. That's what tells us that you're really here and you are following, right? So let's now start. Let's get into the business. So you want to tell them what internet is. This just like a breakdown because we are trying is a build up, right? So we are trying to, build up into the things they need to know about online safety. And one of them is to understand what the internet is, right? So you may want to ask them before you even start the slide, what do they understand by the word internet? They will tell you. Internet is just trying to, link computer together. Is a network of computer that makes them exchange information or data on that same, flow, right? Internet makes it possible for me to be somewhere, having this meeting with you, you are connected in another location, you can see my screen. So what internet helps to do is that it helps servers to share data, right? And there is free flow of that data from one computer to the other, right? And of course, if you want to browse the internet, I mean, sometimes you need a web browser, that helps you connect to website and web pages. It's also important to let them know that. And you also let them know that, look, network is what connects the computers together, right? Some of us can recall what happened. Is it this? I think sometime last month, where some of this fiber cable was broken along the, I think, Atlantic Ocean that affected, our connectivity here in Africa. If you could recall that situation, right? So that's what networks help you to do. It connects computers together to make them be able to exchange, data and information over time. You also want to tell them, of course, you ask them, they will tell you, you engage them before you start telling them. Some of them know. Use internet for communication. It's internet that makes it possible for you to, converse with people on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram. You let them know that it's connected via a network nationwide, right? And it connects people via a variety of devices. You let them know, like your computers, your cell phone, everything, just to share information. That's what the internet is. Like the, infographics we have here is just an interconnectivity of different, computers exchanging data, right, over a network. Then the next thing you want to tell them is you ask them, what do they understand by a search engine? I think I should ask all of us. I need just 2 people to unmute and tell me what you understand by a search engine. What do you understand by a search engine? I need 2 people to unmute, one after the other. Tell us your name and tell us what you understand by a search engine. I don't want to believe you don't know what that is. I mean, I've seen ICT teachers here. It doesn't even matter whether you teach ICT or not. So guys, let's just unmute and tell us, what do you understand by a search engine? What is
Good
going on? Are
afternoon,
these
sir.
people not here?
Hello.
All right. Good
Hello,
afternoon. Go ahead. I
I'm
can
more
hear
than
you.
a
Okay.
search, a
Okay.
search engine is a software system that provides hyperlink to web page and other relevant information to the web in order for us to browse, search, and get information, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Modi. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. That's a lady or a woman. So let's also, for gender balancing sake, let's also have a man or a guy telling us, what do you understand by search engine? Any man in the house? Just for balancing sake. Yes. What is going on? We have men in this building. Yes, please. Search engine, please. Hello. Or Saifat, please quote me, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we only have women on this program, on this session, I mean?
No, sir.
Okay, so our guys, please talk. What do you understand by search engine? Ah, I'm not hearing anything, no.
Good, good afternoon, sir.
Right.
All right, good afternoon.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
my name is Obakunle Ayodeji from
Sorry, please go ahead, please.
search engine is the medium of connectivity of the
Okay.
computer from one system to the other.
Oh, from one system to the other. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you
It can
so
also
much.
be phone, it can be any other devices.
It can be any other devices. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for that contribution. So please, guys, if I ask for your contribution, it's just to be sure you are following. Please, don't be reluctant to just hear your opinion. We are all here to learn. No one is an island, right? So thank you very much. Of course, when you talk about a search engine, you are talking about any software program that enable you find information online using keyword or phrases. That is just it. A good example is Google, right? If you put anything on Google as little as article D, THE, Google will bring for you the combination of websites all over the globe, all through websites that has that article D being discussed, or they've posted anything that has to do with that article D. So it brings all of them to you in form of a link, right? When you search article D, for instance, it can bring the website for you, maybe English dictionary that tells the meaning of article D, maybe Oxford dictionary, maybe there is a website, an English speaker somewhere who have written something on the article D. So what search engine does for you is that it helps you pull information all over the web as contained in your keyword or phrases. So it's just like a garbage in, garbage out. You ask it, I need information on article D, it pops it up for you. Anywhere all over the world where article D is, it pops it up for you, and that is it. So that is what search. So a good example of search engine, like Muturayo mentioned in the chat box, is Google. Right? Google is an example of search engine. Another one is Bing by Microsoft. Once you put anything there you want to search, you put it there, it helps you accumulate all the websites where such thing has been discussed. So that's what search engine, from the word search engine. So it helps you search all over the web, anywhere you can have the keyword or the phrase you have required of it. So that's what search engine does. So the question you want to ask yourself, just to engage your pupils, is that, are you secure on the internet? Do you think you are secure on the internet? That's a big question you want to ask us. Some will say, yes, yes, we are secure. Some will tell you, I don't think so. Some will say no. So it's just to engage them, right? Let's now get into it. We'll begin to uncover or unravel whether we are secure or not on it, or some of the things we can also do to make sure we are secure. Now, the next is sensitive information. What you want to ask yourself is, what are sensitive information? Of course, sensitive information, from the word sensitive, because I lecture, so sometimes I like to always break that down. Sensitive, then information. When you say something is sensitive, it means that it's not something that is for public consumption. It's something that you have to be very careful about. You have to, do your due diligence before you share it, right? So sensitive information are those information that it's not to be shared with the public. Not everyone is supposed to be privy to that information about you, right? And they are just your personal information that you should protect from other people. It's not what people should know. When I take this, I used to share a story, back then in school where all of us were in the same room, hostel life, when one of our roommates, is asthmatic, they told the friend that is asthmatic. So just a little bit issue between both of them. You know what the other friend did? The other friend started frying something in the room because he knows that as an asthmatic patient, they cannot stand, places that are stuffy or places where, the air is not that too conducive for breath. So he started frying. But the question is, would he have done that if he didn't have information as to the medical record of that his friend? No, he would not have done that. So that's one of the things you want to stress for your audience, that look, sensitive information are information that you should not share with anybody. Why? Because if you share it either publicly or privately, they can be used against you. What are these sensitive information? Of course, your bank verification numbers. Some of us here, we've received text where somebody will ask you to send your BVN to help you do stuff. There are sensitive information that should not be shared with unauthorized persons, right? Another one is your ATM card details and PIN, right? I was saying this some time ago when we were taking this film training somewhere at Lagos Technical College in Ikeja. I was telling them that, look, and a lot of the people, they alluded to the fact that their ATM card details and PIN is what they just share with people. They just tell people, hey, maybe one of their apprentices, hey, I take my ATM card. This is my PIN. Go and let me withdraw. So those are not some of the things you want to do because it's part of your sensitive information. Somebody who knows that can use that as an avenue, to defraud you, or, can use it to their own advantage, right? So it's what you don't want to share. Another is your phone and SIM password. Why is your SIM password important? See, one of the reason, if you lose your SIM, back in the days, even when you lose your SIM, if your SIM is not logged, that's why you see some people, when you lose your SIM, someone else pick it up, all the contacts on your phone, they can easily download it. And that's why some of them will now make calls to people that are close to you and sounded like you are the one speaking to them. And you have just misplaced the SIM, and probably you are yet to retrieve it. You speak to one of your son or daughter, says your daddy, and all about those things. And the innocent children might fall victim for it, or whoever of your family member they call can fall victim for it, just to siphon their money, as it were. So what I'm trying to say is that your phone and same password is also sensitive information you don't want to share. Another one is your NI. You agree with me now that everything is now integrated in Nigeria. A lot of you here are teachers in schools. You know that even your pupils cannot write, they cannot sit for WAEC exams if they don't have NI, because about 2 or 3 years ago that started. You can't register for WAEC without NIN. The same thing for JAM, same thing for international passport. So everything is being integrated that, with that your 10-digit NIN number, I can get all your information. I can get your name. I can get where you stay. I can get your next of kin. Mention anything, I can get it. So your NIN number is, it's sensitive information, and it should not be something you just share anywhere, right? It should not be something you share anywhere. Okay, Alalade Mutu, I can see what you drop in the chat box, giving us example of other popular search engine like Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Beidou. Thank you very much for that, right? So another one is your permanent voters card. Every voters card, I'm sure all of us here have a voters card, right? It comes with a unique number by the side. If you have your voters card, go and check. That number is only unique to your card, to you and you alone. Anybody who have access to that number can get all your personal information. So you don't want to share information about your personal voters card, permanent voters card as well, because it's sensitive information. Another one is your medical record. I gave an example of, the asthmatic roommate the other time. You don't want to share your medical record so that people don't use it against you, right? Because all those information are information that can be used to scam you. If you are following, put in the chat box, I am following, just to be sure we are together. Everyone, 17 participants. If you are following, put in the chat box, I'm following. I am following by Alala de Mutiu. Yes, you are following. Thank you. Anyone else? Or is only Mutiu that is following me? Modiu Adebisi is following. Oyewade Beatrice is following. Awu Tayo Grace is following. Erin Folami is following. Oyebode is following. Ainde Josephine is following. Wolabi is following. Ajao Taiwo, Awola Jaesta, Obakunle Ayodeji is following. Yes. Fatai Camille Abiodun is following. I love that. Thank you very much. Thank you. We are following. We are not in the kitchen cooking noodles or eating salad. Yes, we are following. All right. So privacy, right, guys? So why is privacy important? That's why it's coming immediately after sensitive information, right? So we all know what privacy is. When you say privacy, I want privacy, I don't want anything, just privacy. We all know what it means, but let's get into it. Imagine, do you think everybody is entitled to have access to certain information about you? Let me ask you, like your name, your PIN. Do you think everyone is, entitled to have access to those information about you? And the most important thing I would like to ask everyone on this call is, do you think you can control people having access to certain information about you? Let me get your response. Do you think you can control it? Do you think you can control it? Alarademutu said yes. Yes, thank you for always responding. Alarademutu. He said yes. You think you can control? Alarademutu, can you unmute? How do you think you can control it? Oyebode Bola said no. Okay. Alalade, how do you think you can control it? Let me start with you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So if I want to control it, I will not use a public something. If I want to send something to the public, it may be what to my own personal friends, not to
Okay.
general public.
Not the general public. I love that. That's apt and spot on. Thank you, Alalade. With you. Yes, let me just get Oyebode. No, sorry. Let me get Oyebode Bola favor. Why do you say no? Oyebode Bola favor. You have the floor. Why do you say no? Oyebode Bola favor. Are you there? You just said no. Okay. Let me give this to another person. Oyewade Beatrice Oluwaseun. Why do you say no?
Good afternoon.
Okay. Go ahead, please. Your name.
Good afternoon. Your body Bola is speaking.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Your body Bola is speaking.
All right. Good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
I said no because once information is being spread, it will be very difficult to get it back.
It will be very difficult to get it back. You are talking about, one not taking the necessary caution before sharing information, such that when it is shared, you can. So what you are saying summarily is still what I will talk about. I love that. The internet does not forget things, right? Anything you put on the
Yes,
internet there, you cannot,
it's
come
get
back
it
to
back.
retract and say, oh, you did not say it. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. That is fact.
Okay.
Right, guys. Now, so before I dive so deeply into that, let's also take this, let's think about this together. And I want everybody to engage this. Imagine you are a Jacob and you are having a conversation with a lady you met in school, right? Maybe it's a co-teacher like you or something. What are the information you think you will share and why? What are the information? I just need like two people to also unmute. Why? What are the information you think you will share in everything you are seeing here and why? Yes, I'm just cool with two people, but yeah, two persons.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Information that I will share, it will be based on my own relationship with the person. For example,
Okay.
if I release my name for somebody, they can use
Okay.
it to access some information about me. Even though my
Okay.
phone number, in the bank, I don't normally release my phone number.
Okay.
Somebody can access
Okay.
some information through that medium. That is why my relationship will determine the information I will release.
The relationship will determine the information you release. So just in this case now, just maybe perhaps only your name. You don't want to go outside your name, depending on the relationship with the person. I get that. Thank you very much. Any other person?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is sir. Yes, that is the comfort.
Okay, comfort. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yes. Okay, so the information I would share would probably be just my name.
Okay.
And then probably I could just give out my number. Maybe
Okay.
because I'm meeting the person for the first time, I might need to get some things from the person and maybe get out things surrounding our place of work. So I'll
Okay.
just share my name.
Your name and your phone number. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. You don't like to share your favorite meal? Just in case now,
No, no, no.
just in
No,
case,
I've not developed relationship. So,
Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right,
yeah.
all right. Yes, okay. Do we have any other person who wants to speak? I'm hearing a background voice. All right. So, guys,
Uh,
thank you very much. See, is somebody speaking?
yes, sir.
Okay, please, quickly. Thank you. Okay. All right. So, the honest truth is that when you meet someone as Jacob, you can decide to share everything on this screen, and you can decide to share only one out of what you can see on this screen. That's the honest truth. What we are trying to achieve with this particular slide is to let people understand that it's all about privacy. Like somebody mentioned, what we are trying to say, what we are trying to do here, the person said, oh, it depends on my relationship with that person. Okay, I'll share this, I'll share that. What we are trying to establish with this privacy is that what you share, what you decide to share is your responsibility. You can decide to share your name, you can decide to share everything, and you can decide not to share anything. Everything is still a question of privacy. And why you should be cautious about whatever you share, like somebody mentioned, just be careful of whatever you share, what you post online, because the internet does not forget things. What do I say, everybody? The internet does not what? It doesn't forget things. Whatever you put on the internet, whether when you were in secondary school, whether when about 10 years ago, the internet does not forget. I've shared a story on some of these sessions before, where you see people being denied visa to countries. They've ticked all the boxes. So, but because of morals, maybe you want to enter countries like the Arab world, for instance, they will do a background check. If they see that you are someone who is found wanting when it comes to moral, maybe as a lady, you post pictures that maybe you are probably half naked, you don't realize that you've ticked all the boxes and you are denied visa because they have access, because everything has been integrated into their system. They have access to check every information about you that you can never imagine. Jegede, thank you for echoing that internet doesn't forget things. I can see that in the chat box. They have all the technologies to get all your information, your Facebook, even the ones you thought you've deleted, they can see it. So that's why you have to be careful of what you post on. And also, kidnappers also work with information such as your location, amongst other things. You see some people post on Facebook and say, at enjoying at Elegushi Beach with 300 other people. I'm like, what is the meaning of this? It's only you that is enjoying now. What's the business of 300 other people that you tagged? You understand? So you want to be careful of what you post online. But the beauty of what you post online is that it can be controlled. That's the point. That's the beauty. You can control it, like somebody mentioned. Look at a maker, for instance. Let's also take this because this slide is very engaging. So you have to make sure that you engage your participants, right? Or your audience, as it were. Look at a maker, for instance. He's an upcoming music artist who just recorded his first single. Who do you think he will want to view his posts? Is it only his friends, his friend of friends, or public? Who do you think?
The public,
The public. Why do you think so?
because this is a maker that just coming up with a new song, and most people that is interested will want to view to know if it is kind
We
of
want
song they would
to
like to. Yes.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you very much. Thank
Hello.
you very much. Yes. What? What? Okay. Okay. I thought somebody was saying something. Thank you very much. You will share with the public. But what we are trying to achieve, okay, somebody said friends first before friends on friends. Okay, you're also correct. It depends on the maker's motive. That's the truth. He can say to share with friends of friends, or only the public. It depends on his motive. His motive might be, oh, since it's a new single, let me let my friend see it first. Let me get feedbacks from them. Maybe they will tell me, oh, the sound quality is poor. Oh, the song arrangement is not what it's supposed to be. The instrumentals is not spot on, and all those things. And he may decide to share with friends, and he may decide to share with the public. If for instance, if the maker's motive is to get popularity, that look, oh, or fame, I just released a new single and it's going to be a hit, then you can share with the public. But what we are saying is that the most important thing you need to know in all these things is that you can control who sees your posts. So we are trying to achieve. You can choose the right audience for your post. Please, if you are not talking, please mute yourself. You can choose the right audience for your post. You can choose the right audience for your post. Mustafa Akim Olawale, please mute yourself. You can choose the right audience, right, for your post. That's what we are trying to say here. For instance, on Facebook, when you post something, you can choose, you can decide to say it's only your friends or friends. You want to see it, or your friends or the public. What we are saying is that what is not meant for public consumption, don't just put it out there in the public. Ajao Taiwo, I can see your contribution in the chat box. Friends of friends, friends before friends of friends, then public. Yes, so I've explained that. Anyways, so on WhatsApp, thank you very much. So on WhatsApp also, you can select who view what you post. Yes, it can be your status privacy. It can be your contact except. I used to give a good instance here. Everything is still going, is still talking about your motive. For instance, if you are from a Muslim background, yesterday or 2 days ago, when um, this Eid Salah was being celebrated, you take pictures of you going to Eid to pray. Post. You can allow your parents to see it because you want them to, all your friends, you want them to see that, look, I'm a religious person. I go to mosque. I make sure I pray 5 times. But for instance, let me assume you go to a club just to enjoy yourself. For instance, you can decide to say you don't want your parents to see it or your friends. And you can only, you can only select the number of people you want to see. So WhatsApp allows you to do that from your status privacy to your contact to my contact accept. Then you can only share with those people. Then also, how can you also choose who sees your profile or your post on Instagram? You can decide to make your account private. Yes, that option is available on Instagram. Once you do that, people who can view your post or your profile will be restricted to people you grant access. And another thing that is very important that we also need to talk about is cookies and your privacy. I remember at a session, I asked, what cookies? What does it mean? The woman stood and said, cookies. It's not that biscuits we used to buy for our children. But in this case, that's not what we mean by cookies here, right? All of you visit website and you see the website requesting that you accept cookies, right or wrong. You see options, accept cookies or reject cookies. And when you don't accept some of those cookies, you will not be able to use the website. Is that correct, guys? Okay, somebody's answering in the chat box. He said, right. Thank you very much. Yes, Jinde and Jegede Olubimi. Yes, Oyebode said yes. Exactly. So you see it. Now, I'm very big on privacy, on cookies. I will tell you why. Cookies is like all this small tool of advertisement that allows the users of that allow the host of websites to get information about your interaction on the website. And it can take that information like your location, like your preference. How many of you noticed that when you go to Jumia app, for instance, just as an example, and you went to go and check some things out, maybe accessories like sound system, how many of you noticed that, for instance, if you now go to Facebook, after you scroll down a bit from Facebook, you see those things that you went to view on your Jumia app, you see them as a sponsored ad on your page. How many of you usually notice that? Why that is always, somebody say, right, yes. Why that is always so, right, is because of the fact that cookies allow, right? Cookies allow, take the information of those that are interacting with that website. And the major reason why those information are taken is to send it to the host of that website to understand what your preferences are so that they can serve you ads based on your preferences, right? But the honest truth, what we are trying to achieve with this is that you can accept cookies, but at least if you must accept cookies, ensure that the website is encrypted. What do we mean by when a website is encrypted? The easiest way to know that a website is encrypted is that by the URL side, that place where you have www. You see a padlock sign by that side. Once you see a padlock sign, it means that the website is what? Encrypted. And also when you see HTTP, you see S at the back of the HTTP, that's HTTPS. The S at the back means that it is secured. So if you must accept cookies, it's important that you ensure that it is a website that is what? Encrypted. Now, applications and permission, yes, it's also a big deal when it comes to your privacy. How many of you notice that when you download app, it requires some permissions from you, like permission to your camera, permission to your contacts, permission to your gallery? Do you notice that? Do we notice that, guys? Yes, yes, yes. Esther is answering. Radio is answering. You are the Beatrice. Thank you. Yes, we noticed that. Yes. So one thing you have to be careful of, and I'm very serious with this. Now everybody has to pay attention. Is that you have to be mindful of the application or software you grant permission to. Do you know that people can scam? I mean, can spy from your phone camera? For instance, if you grant access to some application to use your phone camera, do you know somebody can spy on your face from your front camera? I mean, your phone camera, the front camera, somebody can spy through it. So what some of these scammers usually do is that some of them will go and install application. They will go and, I mean, create application or software that it can take you to be solving maybe a problem, maybe a game or something, or to even convert one document to the other. But the intention is not only to do that, because before you use the application, they will request permission from your contacts. This is how you will know sometimes. Some application will request permission to certain things that when you understand why you need that app, you realize that they don't need permission to it. For instance, an application that is meant to help you convert maybe Word to PDF is requesting permission to your contacts. Why does it need permission to your contacts? Right? Why does it need permission to your contacts? So some of us don't understand those things, especially in this part of the world. Once you just see permission, you just be clicking yes, yes, allow, permit, permit, permit. But what you are doing is that you are standing a risk, for these scammers to download your information, your sensitive information. So you have to be careful with the application. You allow permissions. It is very, very important because some of these applications can collect and steal your personal information. So you be careful about applications that you allow permission. Now, the next one we want to talk about is Wi-Fi. Think about this. How many of us here usually connect to a public Wi-Fi? Because we need us to be sincere. Public Wi-Fi, like Wi-Fi in public places like schools, sometimes even bank. How many of us do that? You do that, you connect to public Wi-Fi. Just put in the chat box, yes, I do. You connect to a Wi-Fi to download movies. You log on to Facebook and WhatsApp on that same Wi-Fi. You transfer money to people on a public Wi-Fi. You update your application when connected to a public Wi-Fi. How many of you also do that? Yes. Mario said no. Okay, Jagade said I do. Alalade said yes, I do. That's good. Now, even me that I'm speaking to you, I've done it before. Yeah. It's not a crime to connect to a public Wi-Fi, just that there are certain things you need to watch out for, which I will talk about in a bit. I share this story every time I talk about this. I remember vividly when they just brought Blue BRT to Lagos about 5 years ago. If you recall, guys, you recall that there's a free Wi-Fi in all those BRT buses, right? And from Fadi to my 12, that time was 100 naira. So I'll wake up in the morning, dress up, enter this BRT with 100 naira. I'm not going to anywhere. Well, I'm just entering that BRT is to go and download movies, connect to Wi-Fi. After I've connected, there was one fateful day. After connecting to the Wi-Fi, I'm not able to download everything. On getting to my 12, I highlighted from that BRT. I entered another one back to Fadi again, just to use Wi-Fi and download movies. Right, guys? Why it is not bad outrightly to connect to public Wi-Fi, but there are some risk that comes with connecting to public Wi-Fi. There are risks that comes with connecting with public Wi-Fi. Number one, scammers can monitor your web traffic on that Wi-Fi. Yes, on public Wi-Fi. Scammers usually connect to public Wi-Fi. In fact, it's one of the ways they use. They connect to public Wi-Fi because on public Wi-Fi, you can easily monitor web traffic, what everybody is doing. That's why sometimes I even, it gets to me when I see people even doing sensitive things like using their bank app on a public Wi-Fi. I mean, if we are doing that before, it's not a crime. That's why we are here and we all learn every day. So it's not what you want to do. You don't connect to a public Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi in hotels, Wi-Fi in public places, and all of that to do all those sensitive things because you don't know other people that are connected to that Wi-Fi and you don't know their motive for connecting to the Wi-Fi. So what I want you to know is that not all free Wi-Fi is free. What do I say, everybody? Not all
Not
free
all
Wi-Fi is free. Exactly. Thank you, Mustafa. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. And if you connect anyhow, you will collect anyhow. I say it anyway. If you connect anyhow, you do what? You will collect
connect
anyhow.
anywhere.
Anyhow. They will give you you will collect things. Is somebody saying something? Sorry. All right. Okay, Ajimat Olatunji is laughing. Yes, exactly. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Thank you, Jegede, for echoing that in the chat box. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. If you connect anyhow, I tell you, you will collect anyhow. Eh? Some people will say you collect wutu. Exactly. If you connect anyhow, you collect anyhow. Because this is what some of these guys use. They will install public Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi everywhere because they know, in Nigeria, we like free things and people will want to connect. But remember, if you don't remember anything from this session, remember that I said one, not all free Wi-Fi is free. Two, I said if you connect anyhow, you will collect anyhow. Somebody said good quotes for the children. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm also saying it. They will grab that easily. Yes. Olatunji, yes, they will. That's why I chose that word myself. I generated it myself. If you connect anyhow, you will collect anyhow. So that's one of the reasons why you cannot connect. But what we now want to talk about is because I've talked about the risk of public Wi-Fi. People can connect there. They can steal your sensitive information, your bank app, your login number, and your password can be stolen. In fact, scammers can even install viruses to damage your phone or your laptop on that kind of public Wi-Fi. Yes, you just realize that your phone is malfunctioning or your laptop is malfunctioning. So not all free Wi-Fi is free. The question you now want to ask yourself, or these children we want to ask you is, how then do we know a safe Wi-Fi? Even if we want to connect at all, how do we know when it's safe? You tell them, number one, it asks you for a password before you connect. If you are not talking, please mute yourself. It asks you for a password before you connect. That's the first thing to know when a password is secured, a Wi-Fi is secured. You tell them. It asks you for a password before you. If you are not talking, please mute yourself. Yes, thank you. Yes. So another thing is that those Wi-Fi is from a trusted and reliable source. I give example here. I say e.g. Google Workstation. For instance, sometimes about 4 5 years ago, Google was installing Wi-Fi in strategic places in Lagos. If you go to Computer Village in Ikeja, they installed one there. They installed one at the University of Lagos, I think one around Surulere. So you want to ask, is it from a trusted source? People you know that they are big on technology, and you are sure that whatever information you share there is safe. You want to ask, is it from a trusted source and reliable source? In Nigeria, we used to say we don't even trust, someone will say, I don't even trust myself, not talk of trusting others. You want to be sure, is it from a trusted source, right? Even that person you trust, are you sure is trustworthy, right? And another thing you want to know, for you to know when the Wi-Fi is safe to connect is that it is encrypted or protected with what we call WEP. WEP is wired equivalent privacy. WP is wired privacy access. If you want to test what I'm saying now, go to where the hotspot of your phone is. If you are using Android, for instance, once you turn it on, you see something like WPA. It now asks you to add a password. That is Android way of making sure that anybody that connects under your network, whatever information they share, is secured. That's another thing you know when the Wi-Fi is secured. It's encrypted or protected with WEP or WPA, wired equivalent privacy and wired, privacy access. Okay, Esther Dada said, nice session, sir. Okay, thank you very much, Esther. Right. So another thing is that the network name align with the location of the host. This one is important. You are in Mushin or you are in VI, you are seeing a Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi saying connect and die, Mushin, and you are in Lekki, and you went ahead to connect. Do you need anybody to tell you that if you connect on that kind of thing, you will collect already? They will give you another thing you didn't create. So what I'm trying to say is that you stand the chance of compromising or doing things that compromises your personal information. Then the network name aligned with the location of use. I've mentioned that you can use testing tool like F-Secure, right? But the protocol, what you need to know is that protocols like WPA, WEPI, like I mentioned, ensure that all information sent, like I mentioned in one of the things, is what? Encrypted or scrambled. Then before choosing a Wi-Fi, what are the things you should know? Consider who is hosting the Wi-Fi, that is the source. Who is hosting it? Don't just go and connect. Who is hosting this Wi-Fi? What could be their motive behind hosting it? And are the information you'll be sharing sensitive, like your bank information? It is wrong for you to connect to a public Wi-Fi and start sharing information like your bank information using your bank app, doing sensitive things. It's wrong, right? You don't want to do that to compromise your personal information. You also want to ask, who are all those that are also connected to this name? Others, is it a public Wi-Fi? If it's public, of course, that means it's open to everybody. Like the BRT I gave you as an example. Even scammers can also be on the same BRT to connect to get my web traffic. Consider the activity you'll be doing as well. Is it sensitive? Is not, don't do it. Then location. So what we are saying is that you need to get protected. The next thing you need to know about online safety is password. If you are following, go in the chat box and say, me, I'm following. Me, I'm following. That's what will make me know that you are really listening to me and you can hear what I'm saying. If you are following, put in the chat box. Me, I'm following. Yes, let's keep it coming. Thank you, Olabironke. Me, I'm following. Jegede say I'm following. You see, Jegede, I'm not sure you had everything I said. You say me, I'm following. Exactly. Thank you, Mudi Adebisi. Me, I'm following. Thank you. Yes, these people are following. Me, I'm following. Henry Folami, thank you. You are the me, I'm following. Thank you. Moiba, thank you. Oyebode Bola Favor, thank you. These people are following. They are listening to me real time. I love that. Jegede Olubumi have corrected. They say, me, I'm following. Thank you. All right. So let's move on. Password. Another thing you need to understand about online safety is password. Let's get into it, guys. What do you think a person who wants to harm you will do when they get to know passwords to your social media accounts? What would they do? Somebody who have been looking for a way to harm you now know what your password is, maybe due to your own negligence. What do you think they will do? Or what do you think a scammer will do when they get to know the PIN to your bank account? What will they do? They will pray for the money in your bank account, right? You understand? So all this is just talking about the reason why we have to take issues around password very seriously. Look at this man. We all want to avoid this situation, everybody. Look at this man. What do you think is happening to this man? Situation of regrets. Situation of like the slang some people say, they will say, oh, what so money has remained 15 naira. That's a situation where maybe someone had worked all through his life and all of a sudden all the money just disappeared, it remained 15 naira. So that at that particular point, you're like, had I known, I would not have done this. Only if I had known. And that's why you're in this session to know, because knowledge is power. And it's not sufficient to also know alone. It's also making sense that what you have known, you apply. That's why I say when you say knowledge is power, I say application is powerful. You can know and not apply. So that's why we're in this session. We want to avoid this situation where this man, when his body has touched ground, like some people will say, right? His body has touched ground. Yes. So you don't want to be in this particular situation, and that's why issues around password has to be taken seriously. How then do you now know a weak password? Let's start. How do you know a weak password? Before this, I used to even share a story, of something that happened in Unilag where, two, in 100 level, a lady and a guy, they met. You're like, oh, the guy asked the lady out, he accepted. The guy was like, this journey in Unilag, we have to go together. Now all those lines now, the men in the building can understand what I'm saying, right? Let us embark on this journey together. They were dating. Long story cut short, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level. It appears like in 300 level, the guy now found another girl. Fatai Kamli say he has entered one chance. Exactly. The guy now found another girl, right? Found another girl. So when he found the girl he was dating from 100 level found out and was like, look, you promised me that we are going on this journey together. How come you went to go and find another guy and I learned you are following the other girl out? Long story cut short, if you finish from Unilag, you understand this story very well, or even from other schools because it's peculiar. You know that courses that involve, there is a faculty-wide course, is the mode of exam is usually a computer-based test, CBT. So that's what Unilag used to do then. And all you need to log in there. Now I learned they've changed it. It's your matric number and your surname and password. You know what this lady did to this guy to retaliate? The lady went to the exam hall before this guy. He logged into his exam portal with his matric number because she knows it. They've shared information and his password. This lady logged in and did not pick any answer. This question was, the exam was a multi-choice question, option, objective question. The girl did not pick any answer for him and he submitted for him. That was how that guy had an extra year because it was a prerequisite course, right? What do you think would have led to that? Sharing passwords, sharing sensitive information. Like people will argue that, oh, perhaps, or some people on this call will argue that perhaps if he had not shared some of this information, he would not have fallen victim. And how did he have extra year? Because that course he did was a prerequisite course. If you understand what that means, you know that there are courses that you need to pass before you can write the advanced one, maybe in your final year, and he failed it. So, of course, you cannot write the advanced one when it's made in 400 level. You have to go and write the prerequisite, right? Because it shared personal information. That's why you have to be careful around sharing your password with people, because they can be used to harm you. How then do you now know when your password is weak? Take this very seriously, guys, and pay attention. Your password contain only your name or your family name. Look at this example here. Somebody's name is Good News. That's the password. Facebook, that's your password. WhatsApp, that's your password. Instagram, that's your password. All accounts you have is your first name. You don't want to do that. It's a weak password. Some is your date of birth. In fact, I took a training session where a lot of men, they alluded to the fact that their ATM card PIN is their date of birth, 1972, 1966, 1990 something. You don't want to do that. It's telling us that your password is very weak. It's a weak way of setting a password. You don't want to do that. Some is your favorite club. You say, I'm a Chelsea fan, Chelsea for life, Barca for life. That's your password. It's wrong. It's a weak password. Common word like I love you is wrong. Simple number like 1 2 3 4 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2. Those things are wrong. Hackers can easily guess those password, and before you know it, all your sensitive information, or even if not your funds in your bank account, gone. Keyboard patterns like QWERTY, like all those. And another thing I'm big on, and I say it anyway, is that your password should at least be 8 character long. 8 character long means that it should contain at least 8 words or 8 numbers. Your password. In fact, before now, people usually have passwords that are not 8 character long, but due to technology and all those things, we are now building things that can make your password be more than between. There are some websites that you cannot register on or sign up if your password is not at least 8 character long. So it's important. Then this is class activity 1 that all of us on this call we have to do quickly, because you do with your participants too. This is just to test how weak or strong your password is. So I want everybody on this call to log into these websites. Login is safe, of course. There's S at the back, HTTPS. S means secure. It's safe. I've done my due diligence. Log into this password, this particular link. Once you get there, input any of your password of your choice. The system will tell you when it takes for anybody to hack that your password, for a scammer to hack your password. So let's do that in the next 2 minutes. Just go into the chat box and tell me the duration. It tells you. Log on to that website, put in any of your password, and it will tell you the duration it takes for anyone to hack into it, and drop it in the chat box for us. That's our first activity 1. We are doing that for the next 3 minutes. Please, let's do that as quickly as possible because of our time. Yes, let's keep it coming. All eyes on the chat box. All eyes on the chat box. Guys, are we doing that? All eyes on the chat box. Yes, let's keep it coming. The chat box. Somebody said 17 days. You can see that password is very weak. Go and change it immediately. Awola Jaesta, 127 seconds. Do I need to tell you that password is very weak? Immediately. Go and change it after this call. Go and change it. That password is very, very weak. 17 days too is weak. Yes, others, let's keep it coming. I've been to trainings where some people, it takes nanosecond before it's being hacked. Nanosecond is not even up to a second. So it's telling us that those passwords are very, very weak. So you may want to change it. So others, let's keep it coming, please. Another person, 2 years to Alalade, 2 years is still a bit weak. To be honest, 2 years is a bit weak. Yes. You may want to consider changing it. Yes, others, keep it coming. We have 17 people on this call. Others, please, let's keep it coming. I tried another one, 11 years. Yes, 11 years is not bad, but you may consider changing it to in some time, maybe in about a few weeks' time. Others, I'm waiting. We are 21 on this call and only 4 persons have responded. Don't be shy of the duration. Just put it. Ajin De Josephine said 32 seconds. Wow. Extremely weak. Ajao Taiwo, you didn't get the question. I said log on onto the link you are seeing on the screen. Input any of your passwords. It will tell you the duration it takes for a scammer or anybody to hack into your password. Jagade Olubumi, 5 years. That one too is weak. Or consider changing it. Yes, others. Just 1 minute more and we move on. Ajimati said 5 million years. That password is relatively strong. All right, so I think we can continue. The tip here is just that, look, the shorter the period, the higher the risk. So if you are taking this in a secondary school where all of them don't have phone, maybe a junior secondary school, if that day you can ask them to bring their phone or whatever they have, if you have a computer room, connect everything and just ask them to input their password. You just want them to see it themselves and see why it's important to change their password and the risk they are running. So the tip here is that the shorter the period, the higher the risk. That's the point. That's what we are trying to say here. Moving on. How then do you now have a strong password? Since you now know that your password is, what's the recipe for a strong password? Just like when you are cooking, there's a recipe for cooking, right? So I termed this Asun 8. So if you hit Asun here, you understand. I mean, 2 days ago was even Salah. So our Muslim brother ate Asun. So you will not forget this in a while. The A there stand for alphabet. Hey, somebody said very weak, 0.01 second. Exactly. So Beatrice, please change that password immediately after this call. Another is 9 years. Yes. So
Yeah.
what do you say?
No problem, sir.
All right, all right. Thank
No,
you very much.
thank
That's why we're on this call. We're all learning. Fatai Kamil said 8 months. 8 months too is weak. You may consider changing it. So I said the recipe for a strong password is Asun 8. And I said our Muslim brothers here, I mean, 8 Asun 2 days ago. Salam it and all. So you will not forget. A stand for alphabet. Your password must contain alphabet. That's the recipe for cooking, right? It must contain, in the same password, it must contain alphabet. The L is for lowercase, small letter numbers. I say small letter, is this number? No, sorry, small letter words, right? It must, S there is symbols. It must contain symbols, like special character like at, comma, hashtag, question mark, for those whose password are very weak. If you check, all these things are not, all of them are not in your password. And if a recipe that makes your password a complete one or a strong one, it must contain the U is for uppercase. Uppercase is capital letter. And the numbers is, 1, 2, 3, or just in the same password. Then your password should be between 8 to 12 character long. Module 9 years, I see that. You may want to change it. Your password should be what? 8 to what? 12 character long. The more the character, the better. Look at the example of password I have here. It was a mixture of capital letter CAP. small letter SME, numbers in the same password, then special character like arts, symbols and all, right? Your password should be between each character and it should contain all this recipe as soon. Alphabet, L for lowercase, S for symbols, U for uppercase, N for numbers. Then this 8 at the back is talking about it will be at least 8 to 12 character long. I hope we are getting something.
Yes.
Okay, Ajinat say mine is 16 character long. It's 16 character long and it still take how many? Okay, that's why it's 5 million years. Yes, of course. Of course. I hope we are learning something, guys.
Yes, we have, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right. Thank you very much. So moving on, what are the other ways you can protect your password? Number one, you can use password manager so that you don't forget. Password manager like Google has a password manager on every website. Once your Google Mail is logged in, it will tell you, do you want me to help you save this password so that you don't forget? So you can use Google password. You can use password one. It's an application on your, it will take 4 years. It's also weak. It's a bit weak. Then LastPass. So if you go to your Google Play Store, you see all this. They help you manage your password so that you don't forget. And another thing is that you change your password frequently, at least every 3 to 6 months. You don't use a password for 5 years. I say so that I will not forget. No, change it every 3 to 6 months. In fact, in the corporate world, you don't have access to your email address after 3 months or 6 months, depending on the organizational policy, if you don't change your password. Where I work, for instance, in my office, you can't access your email after every 3 months. You must change that your password. And the reason is because to make sure that your password is safe. Because we share information on the internet every day. You don't know where you visited, where your sensitive information has been. But if you imbibe the culture of changing your password at least every 3 months, you are sure that you will be able to, escape most of those things. And do not use the same password for many accounts. This is rampant. The same password. Ezekiel, Facebook, Ezekiel, WhatsApp, Ezekiel, Instagram, Ezekiel, your company account, is everywhere the same password. You don't want to do that. Eh? Have different password for different accounts. Please, if you are not talking, mute yourself. Oh, you are the betrays. Please mute yourself. Thank you. So, moving on. You don't use the same password for many and you can use multi-factor authentication, MFA. You will see that very well. WhatsApp have that now, right? That's beyond your entry to your password. Sometimes they ask you for some password. And also there are some of your bank, some banks that if you want to make transfer or do certain transaction beyond your PIN, you still ask you some other security question, like maybe where you grew up, maybe where you grew up, where where you schooled, while you were young, your biometrics, that's your fingerprint, just to be sure it is you. That's what we call multi-factor authentication. Beyond your password, you need other things to access that account, just to make sure that that account is very secure. Somebody say, what about PIN, sir? I don't understand, Alalade. What exactly about PIN? Alalade Mutu, are you there? What exactly about PIN? Okay, maybe when Alalade can hear, you can respond. All
Hello,
right.
sir.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
go
talking
ahead.
about, you talk about the password. I will need to be changing it every 3 months. I'm not asking about the
Yes.
PIN. What about the PIN? Is that one necessary
Yes.
as well to be changing every three months?
Yes, you can do. In fact, let me shock you. Changing every 3 months does not mean you have to know an entirely new password. You just restructure the password. Maybe where you had comma before, you can add hashtag. Maybe where you have question mark before as a symbol, you can add full stop. Just to make sure that there is a twist to your password. Then the PIN too. Just to make sure that maybe you can do the PIN 6 months. Just to make sure that in case maybe by any reason all those things have been leaked, you are sure that you are on top of your game. Do you get? That's why you can use password managers to help you remember all those passwords. Then another thing, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Another thing you
Yeah,
need
thanks.
to also know very quickly is to also always update your application or software. Some of you now, if you be honest with yourself, if you check your phone now, your Google Play Store, there are some application that has been begging you to update it for the past few weeks and you have not updated them. Let me tell you the risk of not doing that. The risk of not doing that is that every time there is an updated app, developers have picked some tactics to give more security to everything you do on that app. So anytime your Google Play Store is telling you, or your Apple Store is telling you to update app, immediately update it. Because there are certain threats, security threats the developers have noticed. And all they needed to do is just to upgrade or update that app to make sure that the firewalls are being built and that you don't lose your sensitive information. So please, as you are leaving this call, if you have any application on your Google Play Store, App Store, that have been asking you to update all this one you have not updated, please, after this call, go ahead and update it. Because if you don't update it, you are risking your personal information. And of course, don't tell your password to anybody. The number 16, we're almost done, you need to know, is to watching out for online scammers. Look at this, everybody. How many of us here have received a phone call from someone before who mentioned your name and every other information about you, and you later discover you don't even know the person? Have you received that kind of call before? Person mention your name, maybe your children's name, where you stay, where you work. Is that not Mr. Lalade, ICT teacher in so school? You say yes, and the one that are finished from so school, you say yes, and at the end of the day, you realize you don't even know the person. Has that ever happened to anyone on this call before?
Yes.
All right,
Yes,
yes,
it has
yes.
happened to me before, sir. Mr. Mustafa.
Okay, thank you very much. Somebody is saying it will take 10 hours. You mean your password? Go and change it to if it's your password. Yes. I can see the reaction in the chat box. Yes, it has happened to you before, right? So that is why you need to also take this session. You need to watch out for online scammers, or what we call phishers or fraudsters. And that's how they do. They will call you, they will tell you, oh, we overpay you. Please come and refund us. You don't want to do that. If they overpay you, you can easily reach out to your bank, or they themselves can reach out to their own bank, originating bank. Banks have a way of settling, of settlements between themselves, rather than calling you to come forget it. All your information, like the youth we say, it has gone, right? So you just want to make sure that, and also we've received text that ask for our BVN, people telling you want something and that you should call. All these things are just questioned around phishing. Now look at this. What malicious hacker, what would they be trying to do to access your information online? Why would the website you are not logged into want to keep track of who you are? It's because they want to scam you. Can you list some example of information that malicious hacker are looking for? Your PIN, your bank PIN, your name, your address, every information about you, right? So look at this. This is another class activity that I want everybody to pay attention to. Let me zoom the screen so that you can see. Out of these two images, which of these do you think is legit? Which one do you think is scam? Legit means you think is original. Is it image one that is original or image two? Go in the chat box. Anyone you feel is the legit one, that is the Facebook landing page. If it's image one, just type one in the chat box. If it's image two, type two in the chat box. Yes. The next 1 second to do that. Don't unmute yourself. Just go into the chat box and type. If it is one that is legit, type one. If it's two, type two. All of you are choosing two. Okay. Oh, you bought the Bola favor. Can you tell us why you think two is legit? Let me start from you, because everybody is choosing two. Oh, you bought the Bola said Facebook, the trusted website, is on it. Okay. That's why you think two is correct. Mustafa Akim Olawale, why do you think one is the legit one?
Because I felt what is there about the password and the login is always what you have entered on your Google information before any login. Because if it is not attached to your phone, what we will tell you is that you are entering something you are trying to enter is a wrong password, and they will send notification to you immediately on your email to let you know that something is wrong or somebody is trying to scam your information, sir.
Wow, wow, wow. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Guys, this particular class activity is to test whether we can see things intently and avoid online scammer, because this is what they do. All of you know the story of Watch Copy, right? What makes that guy a very successful scammer? What makes a very successful scammer is that what they do is that they fish. There's something we call phishing. Phing. And what phishing is that it's a cyber crime actually. That you try your best, you try to understand how a system operates, and you now clone something that looks like that system. It's fake, but you clone it, it looks like that system in order to defraud your target audience. And your target audience will not be able to decipher between that thing and the original because it looks strikingly alike. If you check what you also see in this two images, it looks strikingly alike. But the honest truth here is that there are just two things to watch out for beyond the Facebook. Although, in all honesty, image 2 is what is legit, but it's beyond just this Facebook you are saying that makes it legit. Because this one, you can still also, you can have Facebook where it was not shown. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? But beyond Facebook is part of it, of course. But beyond Facebook, another thing you look at intently is number one. I'm zooming it now if you can see. When the web address got to this 525, what happened? You see three dotted line, which you can see on any web browser actually. Right? But this one, when it gets to 525, what do you see? The number still continues, and it's not possible. Once the number gets to a point, you see three dotted line. That's number one red flag to tell us that this image one is fake. This is the legit one. Number two that tells us that image one is fake again is that look at the alignment of this create new account. Create new account here, create new account here. Can you see the alignment? Wrong alignment. Look at this alignment. Create new account, create new account. Can you see? That's another thing. So that's what makes image 2 legit and image 1 is scam. But this is a question of phishing. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Do you see that? So that's what all this scammer does to reach the target audience. They will make it real that you will not be able to decipher the one that is correct and the one, and that is what we call phishing. Now I've explained the cyber crime. People come together to defraud others. Clone that thing, it looks like it is the one. You will not be able to say, oh, this is the fake, this is the original. You will not be able. Some of them even send email, right? They send emails to you. Email from your bank. You think it's coming from your bank, but there are ways to know what's fake. I'll still show you in a bit, right? How to know when you see some email and you know that, oh, this one is not from the legitimate source. And online scammers, that's what they do. Some of them even use social media platform, dating website, and all those things to get your personal information and money from people. And some is true employment scam by creating a website to apply for a job. I've told you they can clone a website. For instance, that's why you hear sometimes that police will come out to debunk rumors that we are not recruiting. No, those people that tell you to come and apply, that we are recruiting, don't mind them or they are scammers. Even police, Nigerian police, I've read a couple of reports like that. You see them coming out to debunk that rumor that we are not recruiting. That means that some scammers somewhere have went to go and clone the police website, recruitment website, and people are already applying and they are getting their information. Let me take you through the story of a woman called Mrs. Olayinka at the Nigerian Immigration Service. She wanted to make a payment, a submission fee of 1,500. This happened in November 2021, right? She wanted to make a payment of 1,500 submission fee. She used her husband ATM card. They first deducted 4,000. Yet, the portal did not go through. He tried again with her own ATM card. They deducted 5,000. That's how much now, 9,000. But what was the original submission fee on the website? 1,500. Still, it did not go through. Look at what she said. That's what struck me why I have to include this in this slide. She said, I didn't know the job offer was fake because it looked, I'm reading the last paragraph, because it looked so real. But I was desperate. I wanted to get a job badly. So I had to believe. That's what some of what this online scammer, that's what they leverage on. They know that, oh, they know things that we need. Maybe people are in need of job, people are in need of something. They leverage all those things to get their targets. You can see what they did to this woman. She had to pay 9,000 in 2021 for free for a payment of 1,005 on a cloned website. You can see through a cloned what? Website. Cloned website of the Nigerian Immigration Service. And people are still doing it up to today, right? So these are some of the things we want to be careful of to make sure that we are safe. How then do you now spot online scammers? Everybody pay attention to this. Now look at this text message by the side. A lot of us have received this before. Dear customer, due to BVN validation, sorry, can you hear me?
No, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, what can I hear you? What can I hear you now?
Okay, sorry. So I was saying that look at this information by this side, right? You have seen this before. Due to bank verification, validation, compliance with CBN Bank. You see how you know some online scammer? Sometimes they are not spelled correctly. It's part of what I will tell you here. Look at it too. CBN validation and compliance with CBN Bank. Is there anything like CBN Bank? That's number one red flag in this text. They said your ATM card has been deactivated. Your ATM card has been what? Deactivated. Look at deactivated. We have D_activated. Is this the correct spelling of deactivated? No.
No, sir.
That's another red flag. And no bank will send you a text message like this and attach a number for you to call. That's another red flag. So this thing you are seeing is from a scammer. This text message here. Are we following? Are we getting something?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So this is from a scammer. This is an example of text people have received. This is from a scammer. You can see how I just pinpointed that. So how to now spot it now? I've just shown you now. Words are spelled correctly, right? And they mention something they know you need at a time and want you to do it urgently. Sometimes they attach number for you to call in a text. No, that's not true. You can see some of them post like from someone you know, your colleague, your family member, or even government. You hear NYC is now sharing 100,000 to all core members. Click this link to get your own 100,000. I mean, when I see things like that, I just laugh. And you still see people clicking that link. You have to ask yourself, why will government share 100,000 fee? How much is this country's worth? That government will share 100,000 to all core members. That we are still struggling to even pay minimum wage? Do you understand? So these are some of the things that when you see people falling victim for all those things, you just wonder. And once you click that link, you download all your information on the other end, on the scammer side, they see everything, right? And another thing you spot online scammer is that they try to gain your trust. They will tell you things that make you want to trust what they are saying. They say things that get you emotional to tell you, if you don't do this, you may lose this. You want to rush to do it. They will tell you to act now. That's another thing. They say act now or we take over something. Act now, no. Between now and 3 seconds and 1 minute and 3 minutes and 5, no. That's another red flag. They will ask for your personal information like BVN, like your PIN. They overpay you and ask for a refund. I've told you before, if somebody overpay you and ask for a refund, tell them to go and report to their bank. Their bank knows how to communicate to your bank, whether it's the same bank or not the same bank, to get whatever overpayment that is made. Should in case you even confirm truly that you get a payment you know you're not expecting. It is not your duty to go and refund the person. If you do that, they have created a website already that will get all your information. Some of them will promise you something that sounds too good to be true. They'll say there is a promo. The promo will give you 90%, 95% off the cost. Who will do that? You see people secularize, Jumia is doing Black Friday, 95% off. Is a scam. It's not possible. Nobody will give you 95% off the total cost. Nobody will do that. No business-minded person will do that. Then they offer something you need at that time just to gain your trust. How do you then, what are the tips you need to know? The tips and tricks to make sure that you are not scammed. Don't click on links in email or text message. Don't click on links. And most links, what tells you that a link is secure is that it has S at the back of the HTTP, meaning that the S means secured. if you must see any link. But generally, don't click on any link in any text message. Don't do that. Watch out for words that are not spelled well. I showed you in the previous image. Deactivated, D_activated, CBN Bank. I mean, that does not sound right. Don't log into the account from a text or email. Don't log into any account. Do not call an unknown number from a text or email. They send you a text message, they attach a number, like I said here, the number you don't know, like this number 07030, and you go ahead to call it. Don't do that. It's not good for you. And don't share personal information like your BVN, your ATM card, and details like your CVV. Your CVV is the number at the back of your ATM card. And with that CVV, anybody can get your information anywhere in. I mean, with that CVV, people can do a lot with your bank account without even knowing the MasterCard number. That CVV that is hidden at the back of the ATM card, that 3 number is very, very powerful. It's what you want to stay away from. Then another thing we want to talk about is fake news. I mean, we all know what fake news is. It happens everywhere where people will just send something and say, look, and I give an example, NYSC is giving 50,000 to everybody, or federal government is paying 100,000 to all household in Nigeria. No, 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 no. We don't want to do that. What we are saying is that if you must, I mean, some of us, there was a time now, if you remember, during Ebola, people will tell you that like that's what I painted here, Janet, the WhatsApp chat. That look, you just put salt inside warm water, use it to take your bath and also drink, you will be cured of Ebola. How many of us see that during the outbreak of Ebola?
I saw it, sir.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. But what we are saying is that fake news is any news or story that is not true or is not 100% accurate. That's what we are saying. If you must share anything, ensure that you verify it. That's our point. Always confirm every information before sending to others. Don't be known for fake news purveyor in your school, in your place of work, in your church, in your mosque. Anytime somebody posts something to the group, you see people saying, don't mind me, sir, so. Everything is always posted is a lie. If you check now, it's not true. You don't want to be in that kind of situation. It's part of the ways to stay safe online. You don't share fake news. You verify before you share anything. Before you share anything, ensure you verify. That's what we are saying. Before you send to other, you saw that, oh, they are selling RAM somewhere, 15,000 for 1 RAM. I know you are eager to share so that all your Muslim brethren can quickly come there and quickly take the opportunity, take the chance and buy their own. But always at least confirm and check whether that is real. How do you confirm or check? These are some of the things you look for to identify fake news. You check the source, the person who writes or send it. Why is he writing it? Why is he sending it? You want to check. Ask yourself, why has this story been written? Right? Why has it been written? What is the agenda of that person? What's the person trying to pass across? Ask yourself, why is this person sharing this news at this time? For example, during election period, I mean, I'm vying for a position, you are vying for a position. I will look for ways to tarnish your image and share information that are not even true about you. So you want to also look at the period that period and why that person is sharing that news at that particular time. Before you share it, then you ask yourself, who else is reporting the story? If there's any story, famous newspaper like Punch, Guardian, we report it. You want to check to be sure. Then you ask yourself, does it sound right? Right? Check online if it's truly happened. And there are online, places you can also check if some pictures are you watch out for false headlines. Then the last but not the least is cyberbullying and harassment. Look at this image. From Facebook, from every other aspect, this woman has been bullied and harassed. Look at the way she's looking dejected, rejected, and pained, right? I tell people, and you tell your students, bullying is not just physical. We also bully people online, and that's what cyberbullying is all about. Yes, you comment words like you are ugly, you are a failure, you can never make it. Those kind of comments. You can never make it. You are a failure. Nothing good is coming out of you. Eh? I don't know. Your head is just, you don't want to find yourself in that kind of situation. You tell your pupils too. You don't bully people online. You don't post their embarrassing pictures online. You see somebody doing something very embarrassing, you post online. That's cyberbullying. You don't want to do that, and harassment. You don't want to do that. And this is a story of an intake in a company. Just take a look at this. People, different colleague abusing him, hot, calling kettle black, hypocrisy at its best. Another person said, this is a joke. Group with what? You and who in what group? That's the new intake, the group with them. Showing class. They're showing class to him or to her. in this group so we can group her and groom her the right way. You can see different people. Someone add her to this group. And that person say, if we are not sheep, then we are not. Now somebody standing up. They called him a sheep and all of that. Look at this image. Different name. They call him a loser, stupid. Look at it. The same person from different angle. Loser. You don't want to be the situation. You don't want to be the reason why people are depressed, why people are thinking of going to jump into the lagoon called Mainland Bridge. Some of us will say things that can make people think of suicide. You don't want to be that kind of person online, right? That you say those kind of things to people. But what is important is that you must know how to handle it. And how do you handle it? You can use the report icon, right? You don't fight back. You use the report icon. The report icon on all social media, on Facebook, you can report. On WhatsApp, you can report. In fact, if you report on WhatsApp now, your last 3 chats with that person will also be sent as an evidence to report maybe what the person has done, maybe the person sexually harass you, maybe the person say things he's not supposed to say to you. But in every situation, be an upstander. There's a bystander, there's an upstander. A bystander is someone who watch things happen without reacting positively or negatively. For instance, if you see an accident scene, when people are accident victims, you see some people moving closer to them, trying to rescue them. And whereas you see some people, they bring out their phone and they start taking pictures and videos. Isn't it? So those kind of people who start taking up pictures and videos are who we call bystander. They see things happen and they cannot react or they cannot help. But you be an upstander. Tell your pupils they should be an upstander. They should stand up for others who are being bullied online. They should not join others to bully those people. Now they should stand up for them. Why are you calling this? I'm in a situation where somebody will share his wedding picture with his wife. I see a lot of comments. Yeah, why is this babe black? Like the bottom of a kettle like this. Some of them saying, look at her, OJ Legba Kim Kardashian. People say all manner of things online. You don't want to join those kind of people, but you want to be an upstander. Somebody who makes sure that you rise for such person. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this session. If you have any question, this is question time. The next 5 minutes, ask me any question, I'll be able to answer. I hope you have learned something in this session.
I have been learned something was
You are breaking. You are breaking. You may want to drop whatever you want to say in the chat box. Okay, the baller said, great one. Thank you. So do we have any question? Any question for me? All right. Fatai said yes. So go ahead. What's your question, please? Unmute. Fatai Camille, you said you have a question. Can you go ahead, please? The floor is open.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I tried just to comment on what really pertain the lesson we learned. Try to say comment on it yesterday. We have a great time with you. So right now, I don't have any issues. So that's my
All
response.
right. Thank you very much. Awola Jaesta said, what an eye-opening session. I have personally learned a lot. Yes, that is the intention, to learn a lot. Thank you very much. Who is Oppo CPH? The person said yes. All right. Thank you very much. Well, in the absence of no question, okay, with a strong password, changing it 3 to 6 months, if not so required anymore, right? With a strong password, changing it. No, it's required though. Ajimati M. Olatunji. Even when your password is strong, it's required that you change it within that period. And that's why I mentioned that changing your password does not mean you are changing everything entirely. Maybe where you have small letter A, you can now have capital letter A. Where you use symbol like @ you can now use hashtag or add comma. That means you have changed, you have modified it. Does not mean you are changing everything entirely. I hope that answers your question, Ajimati. All right. All right. I hope that answers. Somebody is unmuted. You want to say something? Alalade Mutiu Abiola.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead. You have the
Good
floor.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, sir. There are some applications that we want to update that they always request for you to add your ATM information on it.
What do you say?
Some application like that. There are some applications. Maybe when you want to update it now, they always request for to add information on the ATM on it. Is it a legitimate one, or we should know it if you have such things?
Honestly, I didn't hear you. You are not very clear. Can you take that again? Sorry.
There are some apps when you want to download it
Okay.
on the Google Play Store.
Okay. Okay.
They always request for ATM information. They say
Okay.
it's not
ATM
free.
information. Okay.
Yes, sir. They say it's
That
not
means those.
free.
Yes. 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 That means those kind of app are paid version. Yes. I mean, the reason why they are requesting for ATM details is for you to pay. And if you don't authorize
Yes,
the payments, they won't pay. They won't deduct it from your account. So if you are interested in that kind of app, of course, you have to do that.
okay. I want to. Is it safe? Because once you apply information on it now, hope that account is safe as well. That's what I'm asking,
In
sir.
fact, the first question I think we first need to ask ourselves is the application that is a paid version, is it from a trusted source? If it's from a trusted source, you are good.
You don't even know. How are we going to know
If
that
it's
it's
from
a trusted source, sir?
you have to do your own due diligence. So it's from a trusted source.
Okay.
If it's from a trusted source, then you are sure that, of course, when you add it, it's just like I want to download LinkedIn, for instance. There's a paid version of LinkedIn, and I'll be required to put my ATM card details to pay because I have to pay online, right? I mean, LinkedIn is secured. I can do that. And when I'm doing that, too, there are options to save your ATM card details. It will also ask you. So in most cases, you click no, right? Because if you click yes, they will save it on their database, and you can't trust any company's database only if you are so sure, right, of their track record. You get. So the first question you want to ask yourself first, you have to do your due diligence is that software very secured? If it's secured, you have to do that to pay. You understand what I'm saying? But the first question, the major thing
Yes,
is,
sir.
have you done your due diligence to be sure that that software is secure? Everything you do there is safe or secured. Do you get my point?
Yes, sir.
I hope that answers
Thank
your
you.
question.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, somebody's dropping something in the chat box. Okay, attendance is in the chat box. Okay, so in the absence of no other question, just go into the chat box and describe this session in just 2 words. 2 words or just one word is fine. 2 words, one word, just describe this session. Go to the chat box now. And you can also put anything you know that resonates with you. Maybe anything I said, anything you learned from the session that you know that you cannot forget, it resonates with you. Put it in the chat box. Yes, that's the feedback for me. Anything you know that resonates with you that I said, or you learned from the session, or describe the session, just put it in the chat box now. We have 22 participants. Let's do that in the next 2-3 minutes.
Sir, the chat box is not open. Oh. We have been clicking on it. It's not open, sir.
No, it's open. Mustafa, he said, eye-opening expo session. Thank you, Mustafa. Aulaja said, if you connect anyhow, you collect anyhow. I love that. Ajimati said, if you connect, you will collect. Okay, I love that. Yes, where are others? What did you learn? What resonated with you? This is just 4 persons out of about 20 persons. Yes. Any other person? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Any other person? All right. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Yewade Beatrice. Thank you very much. So, guys, thank you. Okay, Jagede said it's informative. Thank you very much. So guys, thank you very much for your time and for listening to me. My name is Elijah Folabi. You can check me up on LinkedIn. I'm a facilitator and a digital literacy advocate, right? So you can check me up on LinkedIn and see what I do. Thank you very much. Modu say, wow, this came at the right time. Thank you. Folami said, so informative. Thank you very much. All right, Saifat, over to you. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining the session today. This is going to be the last session, so the attendance is on the chat box. Please fill the attendance on the chat box, right? Because if I don't have your details, from this class, I will not be able to send it out to you. And no, I'm not going to post the attendance on the main group chat because truth is not everybody on that group chat attended the session. Data is only going to those who attended the session, right? So please fill the chat box, fill the attendance on the chat using the link and put your information on it. So thank you all so much once more for attending the session.
It is not open here, madam.
If you fill the
I've tried to do it. It's not open here.
it's open. People have been filling it. People have been filling it. Over 5 people have filled it already. It's working. It's open.
I've tried several times. It doesn't open my side here. I don't know what caused it. It's telling me that the site can't be reached.
Please, can you resend the attendance link? Thank you. Can you resend the attendance link?
I'll do that shortly. Can you see my screen? That's the responses of those who are filling the attendance. It is open. It's open. 6 people have filled it. You can copy the link, close the browser you're currently using, and open another browser to try opening the link, right? So it's not just writing your name. The other details are being collected via the attendance. That's why you have to fill the form. Okay, if you fill the attendance, you can leave the call. You're permitted to. Okay, for those on the call, right? The call is going to end in the next 5 minutes. So please, if you have not filled the attendance, please do so now because the call is going to end in the next 5 minutes. So please, if you've not filled it.
Excuse me, ma, please, the attendance is not opening. I've tried it with different browser, two browser, ma.
But I just shared the screen to show you all these people that are leaving now, they filled it. So it's actually opening. Have you ever used this device to fill a form before?
No, ma.
Either way, it's still supposed to work. Use normal Chrome browser. It's supposed to work. It's supposed to open the Google Forms. Copy the link and put it on the normal Chrome browser. It's supposed to take you right to the attendance.
Okay.
I can't do the attendance. I can't access the attendance, so it's not going. Attendance wọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe tí ò lọ. Attendance tí wọ́n ń ṣe lọ.
Please, ma, I can't fill the attendance, ma. I've used Chrome as well. I've used
I can't fit it. Feel it.
What is the response it's giving you?
Site cannot be reached.
Then it's probably your network. So copy the link and save it.
No.
I just clicked on the link you pasted and it took me straight to the attendance.
Ṣé mi ni mo máa gbọ́dọ̀ fi wọlé? Ṣé mi ni mo gbọ́dọ̀ fi wọlé síbẹ̀ ni?
Rárá, ṣé wọ́n sọ bèrè email
Ó ń béèrè email lọ́wọ́ mi ni.
ẹ lo mail rẹ̀.
Copy the attendance link and put it somewhere. Your network is probably bad because you pasted the link on the chat box. I clicked on it and it took me directly to the attendance.
It's a defense question.
That's what I'm saying. I have clicked on the link you pasted and it took me to the attendance. So definitely there is a problem with your network. It's why you cannot fill the attendance. I can't even hear what you're saying clearly because it's breaking. So save the link and then click on it later and fill the attendance because that's obviously what the problem is, your network.
Browser wo ló ń lò? Site cannot be reached.
Apart from the two people having issues, I hope every other person has filled their attendance because this meeting is closing.
I've been trying to. I could not access the form.
Mo ti try ilé kan fílẹ̀. Ó mọ̀ ìgbà tí mo ti wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ ni.
Hello, Mr. Alade. Ṣé ẹ ti rí tọ̀dọ̀ yín ṣe?
Ó jí bá mi lẹ́nu ẹ̀ ni nà. Fún mi ní ATM kí n sì gba o 5,000. I send the 3,500 there.
For those who can't access the form, your network is the reason why you can't do that. So copy the link and save it. Copy it, keep it somewhere where you can access it later. This meeting is going to automatically close in the next 3 minutes and I cannot extend it for longer than that. So I hope the other people on the call have filled their attendance because I don't want to hear later, I attended the session, but I did not fill attendance. That's the same remark we keep getting every time. By the time data starts going out, that's going to be the problem. So please.
Anthony, Alpha. Sound.
For those who filled the attendance yesterday, you don't have a problem. Your details have already been collected, so you can leave the call.
Anthony, I won't take on. I beg, give me a fire ATM, Joe. Unless you bring my I am who I am.